Hello, everyone, and welcome to round 11 of Tier 1. One sec. Let me make sure we're actually getting sound from the stream. I don't see my mic moving, I don't see nothing happening there, so it might be, it just might be a sound issue, but we will see. I don't have my mic muted. Let me check. Yeah, it's not muted. I mean, I can't mute on Xbox with the mic I have. I can only mute if I have the microphone up and the microphone is down. So let's check out. All right. Oh yeah, my mic is actually working. So I'm paired on stream for sure. So welcome everybody. Just 11 guys on track, which is I'll say it's slightly disappointing. Mr. P is also not here. I expected someone who's fighting for a championship to show up for the race. He's the closest to Merck with 15 points behind the Kick Sauber. But it doesn't show up today. Ivy and Destroyer Dracto are not out of it. Also rusted both. Merck needs bad performances today and next week to throw away the championship. But he just needs a good performance today to put one hand in the championship for the final round. A driver who's been here in this league for a very long time now. And to be well deserved when he can finally grab that tier 1 championship. And I know he will sit down and he will rest his mind knowing that he's finally done it. There we go. Mogmasi, who was also one of the drivers who was part of the championship in tier 2, but unfortunately for him, he didn't race last week because of a race ban. Could have had an opportunity to get strong points to continue his fight for the tier 2 championship. After last week's miss, he would need a horrible performance from Tesco and I, or a DNF from Tesco and I, to win the championship tomorrow. But anything can happen in Formula One, and it's Netherlands tomorrow. Look, considering how tight that track is, a DNF is likely for literally anybody. You have to be very careful in a track like that, especially the final corner. If you climb that curve to the left, it just takes your car straight into the wall, and that's a DNF for you. But Mongmasi will definitely be enjoying his race into next game tomorrow. But championship leader Merck still out in the pits. Ivy is out after last two unfortunate races for the Mercedes. One when he disconnected and the other DNFing in Australia. Really thrown the championship away. I won't say really threw it. I won't say really threw it away for the disconnect. That's not his fault in any way, shape, or form. But the mistake at Australia is something he would definitely be looking back on and be kicking himself for that. Or has he thrown away the championship? Will Merck give it back to him? We will see that as Ivy has begun his lap. Who will be the first to finish up lap? I believe it to be one of the Aston Martins. What is this going to the line? Stephanie Luke. Stephanie Luke. I keep calling Stephanie. Stephanie Luke will be first. We will start his lap. Bakey Gaming also started lap, but the first to finish their laps will be the Aston Martins of Silky Stevens and Mogmasi. Silky Stevens will be the first. What time will he set? As the Aston Martin team will be looking to chase down Kick Sauber for the final weeks to get that second place in the constructors. 108.3 for Silky Stevens. Can his teammate beat that? Yes, he can. 108.3, just 3/10, just 5 thousandths of a second quicker than his teammate. As Warren now goes with a 108.0. That's 3/10 quicker than the Aston Martin of Mogmasi. You do expect that tier 1 driver and reigning champion of tier 2. Let's not forget that he still has that championship in his hand, and it will be tomorrow that the championship he will be giving the championship to. any of us, with either Tesco or myself. May the best man win in the end. I often say the best man because Tesco and I have been brilliant this season. So if anybody wins, it's well deserved. I've enjoyed fighting with him this season, and we'll go one more round again at Netherlands, and hopefully it's a very very good one. This is Troy Drake with a 108.078, 200ths of a second behind Wariner, not getting that provisional pole position. He will want that and need that for his fight for the drivers' championship. Looks like it might start to rain here. I mean, the clouds look kind of dark as he's stopping for the Mercedes of Ivy, I believe so. Will be coming through now, and Destroyer Drake is going to start the lap. Maybe I think a smart choice from him there. Is he starting a lap? No, his fuel is low. Should be going into the pits. Yes, he's going into the pits. He was just moving out of the way for Ivy. I thought he was trying to get slipstream, a cheeky slipstream there. But Jaja being set a time 108.6 and Big Heat 108.7. This will be the final race that reserves will be allowed to qualify, because from next in the final rounds, no reserves is allowed to qualify for. So for tomorrow, Tier 3 reserves will not be allowed to qualify for the Tier 2 race, but they will be allowed to race to make sure that they get points for their team, but they will not be allowed to qualify for obvious reasons, because it could be anything could happen. You could get a Tier 2 driver telling his Tier 3 driver, qualify, get close to my competitor, and just be an asshole. Basically, just slow down and hold him up, which would be very unfair for the other driver. So that's why the league has set it that way. That reserves will start from the back. They're here to get points, not here to fight with championship contenders. And it's only fair because Tier 3 don't have reserves, so they won't have to think about that issue. So in the end, if you end up being caught by Tier 2 starting from the back, it's on you. As Morina looking to get his first pole position of the season. Actually, his first. I believe he got pole position at Silverstone. I might be mistaken. It might have been AKZ Deadly. But Merck still isn't out there yet. The championship leader. Maybe he's confident that he doesn't even need to qualify well, but it's 11 minutes to go in quali. Some drivers have set time. Most drivers have set times now, except for both Kick Saubers. I wonder what's going on with them. I don't think they're ready yet to go out there. They're probably thinking what setups they will use for this one. Honestly, we're missing so many drivers. If I can name a lot of them. I'm missing Load, missing Mr. P, Declan if you kept missing Insults. Who hybrids for reserve for Mercedes? There's so many drivers that could be on this track now to fill it up. And it's sad to see Tier 1 not have that much. But this is actually what happened last year. I remember last season, the last two races, we did have like 11 or 12 drivers when Pesci won the championship. Coming to the end of this season in Tier 1, usually not that much drivers get to the end because of the gravity of racing in Tier 1, how strong some of these drivers are. Some people do give up before the end of the season. It's sad to say, but it's the reality. Some people feel like they're just not quick enough for this tier. Like the likes of Gandalf and the other guys who came from Tier 2 who decided to stop racing Viking Fox. Don't miss them on track. It's like been even a more interesting season if they kept racing. I mean, at the start, obviously, you might struggle with Tier 1s, but you will get faster and faster. It's just how it is. If I have to tell you a story about this driver we're watching right now, UFRL Merck, him and myself, after fighting with King Luke for a championship in Tier 2, both came up to Tier 1. We did struggle in our first seasons. It wasn't easy at all. Racing in the midfield, sometimes at the back. Maybe if we're lucky, we get to the front. But he stuck it out. He showed up every race. And today, after 3 seasons of being in the top 3, fighting for good places in the championship, he has an opportunity to finally put his name in the history books of Formula 1 to get the ultimate tier championship. Tier 1 championship is the ultimate tier. It's the main championship. It's the one. The one you look back on and say, I did it. like completed UFRL, because tier 3 and tier 2, yes, it's nice to win those championships as drivers and all, but that's just still an academy that gets you up to the top level. And he's at the top level now. I'll be looking to finally get that gold. Mr. P already has some, like, a few tier 1 championships, so maybe that's why he's not too eager to show up today. So if he hadn't won the tier 1 championship, definitely you see Mr. P on track. But he has won some of them, so maybe not too eager. Maybe he wants more people on track. He feels like it's not that interesting. But Salty Stevens now is going to do a legendary job for his teammates, it seems like, and give him a tow as they head down the straight. Very good teamwork from the Kick Saubers here. Something I absolutely love to see as the TP of Kick Sauber. As Salty Stevens will move out of the way going to tournament, or will he? He will stay in front of Merck, but I believe he's going to stay in front until they get to this corner. Oh, I saw Merck loses it. It looks like the dirty air from his teammate in front might have made him lose it a bit, as he is going to back out of that lap. And maybe they'll try it again one more time. But Ivory now goes pole position with a 1:07.8. He's not wasting time whatsoever. 2 tenths quicker than Warner behind him. Looks like Ivy will be the one to get pole position here today. Merck just needs to qualify in a good place. His qualifying is not usually not the best. Merck, he doesn't really qualify the best, but his racing is very good. He reminds me of Rusted Boats. Those are 2 drivers on track that I feel like their qualifying is never the best, but when it comes to racing, they know exactly what they are doing. And he will try to do what he knows how to do here again. As he will go for another lap. His teammate though will be completing a lap in front of him. And what can Salty Stevens get? It's going to be 1:08.6 for Salty, as Merck will now start his push lap here. Salty in front of him. Will he decide to slow down and give his teammate slipstream once again? He might do so, as Merck is coming out of the corner now. And he's giving him that slipstream. Will he back out of the corner at the last moment? I believe he will do so. And he does so. That is the back out there. A little bit of slipstream can work for you, as Merck almost invalidates. They're close to it. Purple sector might be his quickest sector or the quickest sector of the session. It's now 2 sectors to go for the Kick Sauber. For our championship leader, spotting that red and blue helmet. And can it be? What's he going to be at the end of this season? Is he going to be McLaren taking the constructors and all the drivers' championships? Or could the Kick Sauber duo of Merck and myself grab those drivers' championships and make sure that they don't have a fully dominant season? We will see how that happens. Merck is in the driver's seat now, as Mr. P is not here. If any place he finishes in this race, he will gain on the McLaren. As Merck now crosses the line, and that's going to be a 1:08.7. As you can see, his quality is not really the best. Down in P10, slower than everybody else on track, the championship leader. I don't think that's a problem for him. His racing shows who he is. And having only 11 drivers on track, finishing in a good position, will not really be a problem for UFRL Merck. But he will definitely be looking to get a better time than that, as he will be going into the pits for fresh tires on this run. But his competitors, Jack and Ivy, in good positions now, especially Ivy. Ivy will need 2 wins from now to the end, and we need to grab all those. We need to grab all the fastest laps, and hope his contender Merck has horrible races to grab the championship at the end. It's a long way away from his hands, but it's not impossible for Ivy to win it. So he's definitely not going to give up. He's not a driver who likes to give up. Ivy was in this position against myself in the development share championship when I did end up winning that one. On the final race, he could have won it, but mistake few laps to the end threw away his championship. He was on the verge of winning the championship and closing a very massive gap, because I believe I was like 34 points ahead. On the final race, he was going to, because I was running down in P12 and he was in P3, I believe, until he made a mistake and dropped down to P8, and that was just the end for him. Ivy is out now. And we're looking to extend that time, extend that quali time that he has set. Warner Another driver that knows that he has the opportunity to get a race win, his first race win in Tier 1 in this race, because not that much drivers on track. Just try and hold on to Ivy throughout the race. But the question is it a one stop? Is it a two stop? There's been a bunch of punctures this season in this race. A bunch of punctures, if I do remember. And that definitely is going to be in the back of the minds of some of these drivers. But sometimes, if you know that the tire wear is very strong in a race, the best thing to do is start on those hards and just take care of them. Do not push. Take care of them, especially through the corners. You can't really save tires on the straight. So when you get to the straights, burn as much as you can. But when you get to the corners, lift and coast. When you're in between the corners, don't push as hard as you usually do. Don't strain that car. Make sure the hards can go as long as possible so that your medium stint at the end will be as short as possible and you will definitely get to the end. I've done that a bunch of times this season. I can't even name how many times I've done the one stop and it's worked to perfection. Mexico, Monza, Miami. Miami was going to work to perfection. I was going to get that win, but I got absolutely screwed by the disconnect and ended up finishing in P4. But Warner now has taken provisional pole position from Ivy. He's absolutely pushing here to show that the championship winner from Tier 2 has it in him to win races in Tier 1. And he definitely will be going for that. And right now, he's 5,000ths of a second ahead of the Mercedes of Ivy, who's 1/10 up on his quickest time. And it looks like he definitely will grab that pole position back from the Red Bull driver as the Mercedes will cross the line and will take provisional pole position. Behind him, Stephanie Luke taking that slipstream and using it to good for to his benefit there with a 108.1, and he will put himself in P4. He will be one of the drivers that could determine the championship tomorrow in Netherlands. But honestly, I don't mind if he wins. I don't mind if he wins because 7 points ahead of Tesco. If Luke can get the win, all I have to do is finish right behind Tesco anywhere we finish on track, and that will be enough to grab the championship. So as long as Tesco doesn't win, it will be enough to grab the championship. So I don't mind that Luke is very quick and have an opportunity to win tomorrow. If you can't go win it, Luke, go ahead and win it. I know Tesco will definitely be going for a win. I know he can definitely get the win because the performance that he showed in Qatar, absolutely miles ahead of the rest of us. But lucky for us, we got a safety car to be able to pull him back. But this time around the Netherlands, will we be lucky to hold on to Tesco? We don't know. As he will be gunning for it tomorrow as Ivy going into the pits. He will definitely grab that pole position. I don't see anybody else going faster than the time he has set. Merck is out there to do his final lap of the session. A minute to go in this one, so he has to cross the line before that minute does go down. And he's down in P10, not where he wants to be. Not where he wants to be at all. Yep, Stephanie being cheeky, as always. But he's in P4, and he definitely would love to be there. As you can see, Stephanie has been reserving for Red Bull in Tier 1 a bunch of times now, the last few races. And he's been doing well, so it goes to show that the likes of myself, Marcy, Tesco, when we all do come up here, we're going to enjoy Tier 1 racing, and I can't wait for that to actually happen. I've enjoyed racing these lads in Tier 2. Honestly, they're top lads. Like, we've had our RG badges here and there, but that's part of racing, and I'm looking forward to racing with them again when we move to the higher tiers. So if you're listening to this, Tesco, Stephanie, and Mogmasi, I hope to see you in Tier 1 once again. I don't think Bakey might be coming up to Tier 1 yet. Bakey will be one of those ones staying in Tier 2 that definitely will be going for a championship next season. He's the one to watch. Bakey, Kingy, OG, Bevan, Cowley. It's going to be a very interesting fight in Tier 2 next season. Maybe some new drivers too, because remember, Tesco is new and he's already fighting for a championship. As Silky Stevens, 108.2, crosses the line, will stay P5. Behind him, we have the Williams of Jar Jar Binks. Can he improve his place? No, he cannot. Merck goes P3, and exactly what he needs. 107.9, gets that slipstream behind Jar Jar, and the championship leader puts himself in a great position. Destroyer Drac, 0.03 of a second faster than his quickest time. One more sector to go. The McLaren now is the leading championship leader after his teammate It's not going to race in this one. All Australia Jack has to do is win this one, and he will be ahead of Mr. P going into the final race of the season. So he's the leading, he's #1 driver right now in McLaren. But it's only going to be P4 for the Australia Jack, and that will be that in qualifying. Ivy is going to take your pole position here, just 1/10 quicker than the man in P2 Warren. A good time from him and a good place to begin, front row on the grid. Championship contenders all in the first 2 rows, and this is going to be a real spicy one. If we have quality like this tomorrow, with myself in P3 and Tesco in P4, and I'll take it. I'll take it. Netherlands is a quality heavy track, but it's not. It doesn't mean you can't make overtakes. You can make overtakes if you have the pace for it. Because I've seen what it is when you don't have DRS and the person behind you does have DRS, so overtakes can be made, but you have to time it to perfection. Game volume needs to be louder. Game volume. Oh, are you not really hearing the cars? I usually like putting game volume low so that I usually like putting game volume low. So I'm going to listen to the stream and see. You're right. I can't even hear like the F1 song. All right, one sec. Let me go change. All right, audio game. Oh, I see. Game volume is quite low. That's crazy. Just slightly. Just slightly. Audio game. Oh, I see. Game volume is quite low. That's crazy. Just slightly. All right, there we go. It's up now. 5 minutes. We'll be back for racing in Tier 1. And hopefully, all of you will stay to watch a very good race to come. All right. What time are we gonna go? Are we going now? Let's see. What time are we going? What time are we going? All right. The 4 lights and 5 lights. Round 11. Brazil. Lights out. Foot to the floor and go, go, go. Warner gets a better start than Ivy, but Ivy will still keep his pole position there. Trying it on the inside. Starting on the hard tires there. For the Red Bull driver as Merc and Destroyer Drac will fight side by side. Destroyer Drac will pick the inside on the mediums. He does have that traction to go against the Kicksauber at the start of this one, but the Kicksauber will keep him behind. Stephanie Luke losing a few places now to both Aston Martin, dropping down to P7, P8 now as Bakey will try it on the inside, but he won't get enough. He will now lose a place to Rusted Bolt on the inside, starting with an engine penalty. We'll see how far up Rusted Bolt can get up to. The race has begun now, and Ivy will lead the way. A bunch of them starting on the hard tires, probably the best tire to start on, and take care of them as the race goes by lap by lap. Because the tire wear is very strong at Brazil, and there's been a bunch of punctures this season in this race. I'm sure these drivers know that. So in the first few laps, it's best not to push too hard so you can do a one-stop easily. If it's a two-stop, it'll be quite difficult in a race like this. But Warren are now behind Ivy, 5 seconds behind now with the DRS. So he's looking to make a move. P7 already for Rusted Bolt down the inside of Stephanie Luke, and he takes P7 up for the Haas driver. Both Aston Martins will work together here. Morg Massey and Silky Stevens to attack Destroyer Drag in front. Couldn't have enough. Let's stick to Ivy leading the way. Oh, slightly going off there. Might have gotten a warning. You don't really want to get 3-second penalty. Time the 3-second penalty can throw your race right away. Ivy still trying to pull away from Warner here, 5/10 away, but Warner doing a good job to make sure that the Mercedes doesn't do so. But the Kicksauber of Merc in a good position. He's in a very comfortable position in this championship fight. Just drive, do what you've been doing all season. You're far enough to not worry about where everybody else finishes. Just worry about where you finish. As long as he finishes in the top 5, the next 2 races, he has won the championship. So, here we go. Warner now with the quickest lap. Destroyer Drax takes back that quickest lap, as Warner will be looking to make the move on the Mercedes. He is close enough this time around. The Mercedes will not have that DRS, and will Warner go for it, or is he going to hold it back? He's using his DRS to they're heading down the straight. Will it be enough? He wouldn't look for it down the inside. He's going to hold it back. Most of the drivers not making the move yet on this lap. Salty Stevens 3 times behind Jaja Pink, but still behind Bakey will stay behind. It's not quite easy to make a move going into that corner. You have to be quite close, but the DRS isn't that strong, but it is very strong going into turn 1, and definitely Warner will go for a move on Ivy, saving that ERS on his car. Ivy also doing so. Warner has slightly more than Ivy. Let me see how we're doing with game sound. Alright, so we're doing alright with game sound. So you guys are able to hear the cars. That's Ivy. Now, still 5 cents ahead of Warner. Seems like he doesn't have enough yet, but in a few laps, his tires will be better than the mediums in front of him. It just takes about 5-6 laps for his tires to be better, but Rusted Bolt is not wasting time whatsoever. Down the inside of Smog Massey, goes up to P6. What a start from Rusted Bolt, starting all the way down in P11, already in P6, 4 laps in. Not going to have that DRS catch up to Suki. Stevens in front. Warner still behind Ivy. I think he won't be able to make that move on Ivy just yet. About 3 more laps, Warner's tires will be better than Ivy, so He knows what he's doing. Just take your time here. 36 laps. It is a long race. So it might be good to do 20 laps on the hards. 21 laps on the hards. And the rest on the medium tires. That'll be like 15 laps on the mediums. And that is the perfect strategy here. Starting mediums, I don't know, starting mediums has never been my forte in this game because of the amount of tire wear. I feel like starting hards is just the best thing to do, especially the fact that your car is so heavy. The hards will be the tire that will be able to handle all that tire wear at the start. Because starting on the mediums, they will just absolutely rip up at the start, and you're gonna have to go into for hards earlier than you want. As Merck now is going to try it on Warren around the outside, championship leader on the Red Bull, and he's not going to complete that more. Ivy, oh, Ivy almost going into the wall. They're making a mistake, losing places. Oh my God, it almost happened again. The Mercedes going to drop down to P8. He almost buckled it again and sent his car into the wall. But that is going to be a very good fortune for the Kicksauber once again in a perfect position. But the driver I'm looking at here is Warner. Honestly, I want Warner to win this race. I'm backing Warner for this one. I want to see if he can get it done. Tier 1 race win for Warner will be the perfect ending for a season for the Red Bull driver. He's not had the best of seasons, but he still showed that the quality that he had, and the reason why he is champ in tier 2, and he's going to head down the straight now. 17th away from Merck, so we'll be far enough not to get the overtake done on him. But Rusted both will be close enough to Silky Stevens, who has the DRS also. But Rusted is going to burn all his ERS down the straight, gaining on the Aston Martin. He's not going to pick the defensive. He is going to pick the defensive line. Stays on the defensive line. Both will take the optimal line going into this corner. That will get him the better exit, as he now can pick the inside, use that DRS, and the Haas driver definitely will clear Silky Stevens before they get down to turn 4. And Bolt has moved up to P4. Ivy now is going to have to start making up the places, getting back Stephanie Luke here, but it's 2.7 seconds on the mediums behind Mog Massey. So Merck in a good position so far. And he's just cruising. He's just absolutely relaxed. I want to know how it feels to be relaxed like this when you're going for your championship, because I'm not relaxed for tomorrow. Absolutely not. I've not been relaxed since we finished Qatar. I know Tesco definitely isn't feeling the same thing. But someone like Bevan will be quite relaxed going into his final race, 39 points ahead. All he has to do is do what he always does and finish well. Even if Cowley wins the race and Bevan finishes in like what, P4, it doesn't matter. Bevan will still be champion. Bevan's gonna have to finish like in peace. I don't know, low down. Cowley will have to win the race, and it's very unlikely that Bevan does so. Quality, yeah, he has. It's very unlikely that Cowley even finishes anywhere out of the podium in tier 3. So you don't expect Bevan to do the same thing. But Rusted Bolt right behind Destroyer Draft. Is he going to clear the McLaren? Yes, he is. The hard tires have started to work. Like I said, lap 6. That is when the hard tires become the better tires. That's why like the medium tires are always pointless to start on. It's always lap 6, lap 7 where the hards are better than yours. And I've not seen a safety car come out before lap 6, lap 7 any races this season. Safety cars are not that prevalent this season. A lot of drivers have the skill to keep their cars clean these days. It's very difficult for you to actually see a safety car. I mean, we said this in Qatar. We said, well, we're not even expecting a safety car at all in Qatar, and it did come out. But that was from a ridiculous incident. But two drivers coming together on the straight. Very interesting there. But Salty Stevens now will be under pressure from Bakey Gaming behind. Will he have a DRS on Luke in front? No, he will not, as they get to this corner here. And that will give the opportunity for Bakey to make the move. But let's head to the front as Merck has taken the lead of this race, looking for another race win to Kicksauber of Merck. Lovely, lovely stuff. I'll absolutely take that. As Warner almost losing his back end there, is now going to be under pressure from Rusted Bolt. Rusted Bolt clear Warner here. He is also in the championship fight, so he will need to take wins today and in their final race next week for tier 1. But the finale is not today for them. The finale will be next week after the race at, I believe, what race was Imola, was pushed a week forward because of EA issues. So their race will be finale will be next week as tier 2, and tier 3's finale are this week. hopefully we get more drivers next season, because this was the first season of the game, so I understand how we don't have that much. But now that a lot of people have played the game, a lot of people are getting better at it, and a lot of people are getting the game. We should have more drivers and more seats being filled next season. And we're looking for a few TPs, so if you're ready to be a TP, please hit up the admin, as we have Rusted Bolt ready to clear the Red Bull of Warrior, and he does so, and it's now going to be a Rusted Bolt versus Merc fight for the win. Honestly, how many times have we seen this Rusted Bolt and Merc? But Rusted Bolt started P11 in this race, and in 9 laps he's already up to P2. Ivy in P7. Honestly, even if Ivy doesn't win this championship, you still have to give it to him. He's a driver who came all the way down from tier 3 to tier 1 to be fighting for a championship. There's been a very good fight from him, but it looks like it's out of his reach at this moment. And that will be the end of Ivy's championship at the end of this race if he doesn't end up winning. And look, from here, it doesn't look likely that he would do so. Still yet to catch Silky Stevens. His tires, those mediums, going to start falling off at this moment as Destroyer drag tires are starting to fall off. And Morina 7/10 ahead of him, but he has two Aston Martins behind, ready to get past the McLaren. He'll definitely be pushing to do so. Warrior very close to Rusted Bolt here. Would he be looking to re-overtake the last of Rusted? He's slightly gained on him, but it wouldn't be enough. Drag goes into the pit, exactly what I'm talking about. 10 laps in, and Drag is already looking for a pit stop. The Haas definitely cannot go 26 laps. So starting on the mediums is probably the worst strategy you can do, because they absolutely rip up when your car is too heavy, and you will not be able to extend them. The hard tire runners can't do at least 10 more laps on their tires, I believe so. As there's an overtake happening, where did I see that? I'm not sure where I saw that. Oh yeah, Bakey and Salty Stevens. Bakey finally gets past Salty Stevens up to P7. And Salty now, both on hard tires, will have Stephanie Luke behind. Looks like Luke might also have made a mistake. He's dropped down to P9 after starting up on the grid, and he's now dropped down to P9, stuck behind Salty and Bakey, as Luke and Ivy on those medium tires that are clearly starting to be a hindrance right now for most of these drivers. But the question is, what are these hard runners going to do? Are they going for the 2-stop? Because it looks like some medium runners might be going for the 2-stop. But if I'm a hard runner right now, what I'll be thinking about is, don't even worry about racing hard. Just take care of those tires. Like, just take care of them. In Monza, I got a puncture right on the line, and that only happened because in 2 laps into my final stint, I decided I'm just going to lift and coast into every corner. Everybody else is doing the 2-stop, I'm doing the 1-stop. I have the advantage right now. Just lift and coast into every corner and just take care of the tires, and I did so. That allowed the tires to get to the end. So that's what you need to do. Merc now has lost the pace to Rusted Bolt. Rusted Bolt looks like he does have more pace than the Kicksauber here, already 9/10 away from Merc, who will be pushing to make sure he doesn't get away. He doesn't want to have that pressure of Warner behind without the DRS to defend from him, but he is going to have it, as Bolt now is out of that DRS. He's absolutely flying, the Haas driver, and he has pulled Merc out of that DRS. He will not have it to defend for Warrior behind, so he now is in a different race, and Rusted Bolt is in a different universe, as he's definitely going to get the race win at this point. The pace that he has, Merc is going to use all his DRS to try and get back into the DRS of Bolt, and he does so. Smart driving from Merc there. Does have that race IQ, and he's showing the reason why he's the championship leader. 12 laps in this one, and a bunch of laps to go. I'm getting out in the chat. Warrior, oh no, just saying that Warrior 5 minutes break. I was like, Warrior messaging, I was like, aren't you racing? It looks like that was sent a while ago, and I'm just getting in now. But Merc has lost that DRS once again. He's in this sector. Bolt is showing the pace, especially in this corner here. Look, as you can see, 8/10, 9/10, now a second away from the Kicksauber, 1.1 second away And he's going to have to use his ERS once again to try and get back into the DRS of Bolt as they head down the straight here. The slipstream, we all know, is very strong as you head to turn 1. But with this time around, will Merck be able to get into that DRS of Bolt in front? Yes, he will. He's burning all that ERS to catch up to Bolt. He's also burning those ERS to make sure that Merck doesn't do so. But he does so, and that's going to be another batch of DRS for the kick Sauber driver. Warrior still doing a good job for his team here. The two Aston Martins are doing a great job. We'll see where they can finish at the end of this one. Mogmasi leading both of them now. Silky with the penalty. Salty has gotten past Bakey, gave him 8 seconds behind Silky though. That's a 3-second penalty now for Bakey came in. Let's destroy a drag on those hard tires. Let's see what's going to work out for them. Canned hard zone, do 7 more laps. They will need to do that if they want to go for the 1 stop. I mean, they can't just absolutely burn those tires, rinse them, get them red warnings before going into the pit, so the mediums can actually handle what you want to give them, the load you want to give them at the end. The Bolt has checked out for sure, and that will be the end of Merck's chase on him. So Merck now has the problem of Warren and the two Aston Martins behind. Let's see what he can do. He's pushing hard here. As Warren now will be looking to make the overtake. Oh, he's going into the pits. Merck is going to the pits on lap 14. So the kick Sauber driver will be going for the 2-stop for sure. Looks like some of these drivers are going for the 2-stop. Salty staying out. I want to see who's going to go for the 1-stop in this one. It's going to be a very difficult one. But it can be done, but you're risking a puncture right at the end. Coming out now, Merck on fresh hards again. Smart choice from him. Hards, I would definitely do another 14 laps, then we'll do softs at the end for like 5 laps, maybe. We'll see. As Merck is going to be pushing on those hards now. 1.7 seconds, 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds behind Ivy here. Not too far from Destroyer Drac in front. So he's already on old hard tires and will be coming into the pits one more time for sure. As Jar Jar now trying it around the outside of the Red Bull. They're going side by side, wheel to wheel here. But Stephanie Luke is going to hold it around the outside as they head to the right-hander and keep his place from the Williams of Jar Jar Bing. And Merck is out there now. Rusted Bolt. Is he going to go into the pits? No, he's going to do another lap. He might be one of the ones that will go for the 1-stop, but Warner now is going to come in. He is going to go for the 2-stop for sure. But is it going to be another hard for him or mediums? What is he going to decide to pick? His mediums for the Red Bull driver. It's hard for the kick Sauber, but it's mediums for Warner. But you can see how strong that undercut is, as Warner is just coming out of the pit, and Merck is going to blast by him in turn 1. And it means that Merck is going to have that slight lead on the Red Bull. That's how strong the undercut is here at Brazil. As Merck is going to gain a few seconds on Warner, but he does have those medium tires, mediums that will be able to catch up to Merck in front. But Jar Jar Bing and Stephanie look at the back, squabbling at it, but Stephanie can't keep him behind. Destroyer Drag, 3/10 behind Salty Stevens, and Salty now helping his teammate here against Destroyer Drag. And Destroyer Drag is going to have to get past Salty. Salty has weaker tires than Destroyer. Destroyer Drag better than the kick Sauber, but with the switch back, the McLaren is going to clear Salty. Brilliant driving from Destroyer Drag as he gets past the kick Sauber of Salty. He did a good job for his teammate there. It wasn't enough. But he did honestly, but he did a good job. I believe he lost track about the second there being fighting with him. And he will now use that DRS of track to stay close to the McLaren. Is he going to go for the 1-stop? I believe he's going to do so. And how much would that work out for Salty Stevens? He's in a good position to do so, and he's definitely going to try it. As Merck now with the fastest lap right behind Ivy, and he's going to have that DRS on the Mercedes driver. We're looking to make a move on the Mercedes very soon. Yeah, go on Astons. Yeah, the Astons might be this. Honestly, the 3 drivers. Mogmasi though. You remember Mogmasi got a puncture in Brazil in Tier 2, so he definitely knows that the puncture is likely. So maybe this time around he's going to approach his racing differently. In Tier 2 he was making overtakes and being a little bit more aggressive in that race. So, but it looks like in this one they are working together to save their tires, the Aston Martin boys, and this might work to perfection for them because they're going to do the one stop for sure. And we'll see where they do finish at the end of this one. They just need to do 4 more laps on these hards, then the mediums will be able to get to the end. As you can see, still staying out, the Aston Martin boys. But Bolt decides to go in on lap 17. Interesting choice from Bolt. Because if you're going to do the 2-stop, it might have been better to come in earlier. Those mediums are definitely not going to the end. And he decides to come in this late. Merck is going to get by him. And they're going to be way ahead of him when he does come out of the pits for sure. And that must have been the best strategy for him. But we're going to watch the Aston boys here. Can it be a 1-2 for the Astons? They're definitely going to go for the 1-stop at this point. It's pointless going for the 2-stop when you've already taken the tires this long. So we'll see if we can do 20 laps on them. I wish the game could show you tire warnings, like if these drivers like are having tire warnings, because you can't tell. You can't tell if they're having tire warnings. Destroyer track. Merck getting past his teammate. Oh! Salty Stevens makes a mistake. I don't know if he made contact with Ivy or made a mistake. Ivy now losing even more places. And his race going from bad to worse. Rusted Bolt is trying to on the inside of Salty. And Salty doing his teammate another job here. Holding Rusted Bolt up a little bit. And that's absolute teamwork from the kickstarters there. And that is what Merck will absolutely be loving. Now it's Ivy's turn to try and get past Salty. He will go around the outside and he will get that DRS, get past the troublesome Kick Sauber, who is still staying out there and is definitely going for the 1-stop in this one. His teammate though has taken big advantage of this, about 4 seconds away from Bolt. And on those hard tires that will be better than the mediums very soon. And he's slowly starting to catch up to Destroyer Drag in front. They're 7 seconds behind the Astons. But the Astons will go into the pits in a few laps. I don't think they will catch up to them when they do go into the pits. Or they might do. They're catching up to them really fast. But the Astons are definitely going to finish in a good place. The 1-stop is the way in most tracks. You just have to know how to do it. You just have to know how to save tires. You have to be a tire whisperer in this game. If you're a tire killer, this is not the game for you. I feel like all the tire killers in this game have struggled. All the tire whisperers have enjoyed and really enjoyed this season, like myself and Tesco and the rest of us. People who can take their tires long. We really enjoyed this season of the game. We really enjoyed this game, and since we know now, this is just the first batch of the season of F125, that it's about taking care of those tires. The second Aston Martin now getting a 3-second penalty. Mong Massey are both on 3-second penalty. Silky will get past his teammates here now, up to turn 4. And who will be the first to go into the pits? Now is the team order. I believe Silky did make the overtake here because he wants to be the first one to go into the pits. Does he have damage on his wing? Yes, he does. As you can see, right front end plate, Silky has a little bit of damage on that Aston Martin. He definitely will be worried about that. Salty Stevens getting past Stephanie Luke here. And Salty will also be thinking about a pit stop. Would this be the lap? It has to be the lap 19. Start of lap 20. No, unless you can go one more. They can't go one more, but at that point, Destroyer Drag will be right behind them, ready to make that overtake. But they can't go one more. Who will be the first of the Aston Martins? We're going to watch and see. Let's see who goes in. Is it going to be Silky? Is it going to be Salty? As Mog Massey is going to overtake. They're staying out. Both staying out here. Interesting from the two. As Mog Massey gets past him with that DRS. It will be on this lap for sure. Salty, will he be staying out is the question. He's also one of the drivers going for the 1-stop. And yes, he's staying out one more lap. Like I said, it's going to be lap 21. And you want to go in for the medium tires. Salty has this fight against Bakey Gaming, but Bakey still has to go into the pits in this one. The 1-stop is the way to go. I don't care what anyone says, it is the way to go. I remember DD Friend was on call with us when we raced at Brazil, and he started at the back. He did a 1-stop and finished P7 in that race in Tier 2. DD Friend, the Tier 3 driver. So, and just because he did the 1-stop, all of us who did the 1-stop, even Moody who did the 1-stop, had a good finish in that race. But a bunch of them are doing the 2-stop. For Merck, someone like Merck, it doesn't really matter 1-stop, 2-stop. He's in a good position in this championship. But one of the Aston Martins is definitely going to go in now. Which one will it be? I believe it's going to be Mog Massey. Definitely going to be Mogmasi or Silky. I think it should probably be Silky as he's a tier 1 driver. I think Masi is going in. Silky has to go one more lap behind Destroyer Drag. Masi going to the pits for fresh medium tires. Merc has caught up to them now, right behind Destroyer Drag with fresher tires. As he's on those hards, we'll see if he does the hard soft strategy. Bolt has also caught up to Merc now. Absolutely flying Bolt. Bakey Gaming now. Salty gets a 10-second penalty speeding into the pit lane. And that one-stop strategy might have been thrown away by Salty after speeding into the pit lane and getting that 10-second penalty. But we will see. He's coming out now. And like I always say, it is better. It's always better to it's always better to lose 2 seconds going slow into the pit stop to get that 10-second penalty. So try not to speed into the pit lane. Try not to gain time on a pit stop, because it's basically pointless. Even if you lose 2 seconds, it doesn't really matter. It's better than losing 10. But Salty now is going to take these mediums to the end, and we'll see how this works out for him. Oh, there's yellow flags. Is that going to be Stephanie Luke or Warriner? It is Stephanie Luke. Luckily, it's not Warriner. It's tier 1 driver. Stephanie Luke with a mere mistake. Not the best day for him so far, as the other Stevens brother follows his brother against the 10. The Stevens guys, they never fail to entertain us, do they? Last week they came together. They like Salty ran into his brother and put him in the wall, I believe. Then this week they both get 10-second penalties back to back. We absolutely love the Stevens, don't we? Honestly, legends. He saw his brother do it and was like, I can do that too, buddy. I can do that too. As Jar Jar Bing ahead of Salty, who will be chasing him down on those medium tires. Yuki will be coming out to the pits, but the 10-second penalties that they are sitting on now is definitely going to be a problem for those drivers. As Mogmasi now in P6, we'll see where he does finish when the rest of the drivers in front of him have to go into the pits. 14 laps to go in this one, and Destroyer Drag is your current leader of the race. He has to go into the pit stop for sure. As Bolt slides past him and takes back the lead of this one. He's absolutely flying, Bolt. It's looking like he's going to be your winner in this one. So it's Merc right behind Destroyer Jack. We'll have that DRS, but won't have enough yet to get past the McLaren of Destroyer. Warriner was fighting with them in front, but it looks like his pit stop absolutely threw away his chances for a race win here. 4 seconds behind him on those medium tires. We'll see if he can catch up to the back up to the front for a chance of a race win or a podium in this one. We will see how he does. 13 laps to go in this one. Still a lot to play for. As Mogmasi now in front of Bakey Gaming. Bakey will have to come into the pits one more time in this one. Mogmasi wouldn't have to. Salty Stevens also wouldn't have to. And Silky wouldn't have to, but they do have the 10-second penalties, Stevens brothers. Let's not forget that. Let's go to Destroyer Drag going into the pits for his last pit stop of the race. Merc, 10 laps he's done on those hards. I think we'll do like about 5 more laps before going on the mediums. Maybe like 4 more laps before going on the mediums. Then he'll absolutely push on the mediums for sure. Destroy them as much as he likes, because he will have the space to do so. As Drac now is on those hard tires. Starting on the mediums are going to. He's starting on the medium. I believe he started on the mediums, then went on hards, then he's now on hards again. So yeah. So they are all doing 2 hard stops here. Driver I want to see though is Mogmasi. You see he got past Destroyer Drag, but Drag is not too far behind. Just 3 seconds behind, and Masi is already on 3 lap old mediums. It's going to be difficult to keep Drag away from him. He also has that 3-second penalty. Ivy has to go into the pits one more time. 13 laps he's done on these hards. That's Merc 1.8 seconds behind Rusted Bolt. I don't believe he does have the pace to catch up to Rusted Bolt, who will have a comfortable win here, like most likely. I mean, Merck is slightly catching up to Bolt. I mean, his hard tires will definitely be better now than Bolt. So he should try and use that to catch up to the pass to go for his race win, a race win that he definitely won. So let's go. Let's keep watching this race and see exactly what's gonna happen. Roaring out in P3. A safety car is something a lot of these drivers would definitely be hoping for, especially the Stevens brothers, who did get those 10-second penalties. And they definitely will be hoping and praying for a safety car. Track one in the P strat. Yeah. Medium hazards, yeah. Honestly, they look like they're all doing it. Let's see if it works out for drag. But it won't matter to Merck anyways. All Merck has to do is finish in that top 3 next few races. But you never know, anything can happen. 3 drivers now coming into the pits. Merck is staying out. Rusted Bolt's coming into the pits for medium tires. Merck will do like one more lap on this one, I believe. We'll do one more lap on these. Or maybe he'll be coming into the pits on this one for the mediums and going straight to the end. 10 laps to go. Mog Massey in P2. Just 3/10 in front of Destroyer Drac, will be going for it down the inside. Massey will not fight this one too hard as Drac completes that move up to P2. And this is his final stage of the race. Can Drac get the race win here? It's 15 seconds behind Merck, so when Merck does go into the pits, Drac will be in front because the pit stop is longer than 15 seconds at Brazil. So Merck should be thinking about a pit stop right now, knowing that he will have the mediums that will be better than Drac's tires for about 6-7 laps, which will be enough. As Merck now going to the pit or going one more? He is going to the pit. He will try not to spin into the pit lane like his teammate did. Nice and slow. Yes. There you go. Drac will take the lead of the race right here. As Rusted Bolt is behind, but he does have that pace to really in Drac later on. But with the hard tires at the end, it might just be the perfect situation for Drac. But Merck now on the fresh medium tires coming out of the pit lane, and it spells trouble for the drivers in front of him on those fresh mediums that he's gonna, and he's gonna push to the end now. Maximum push from him. Massey is doing a good job to hold on to Drac, to keep using that DRS. Merck is a little bit miles behind. He's kind of miles behind, but we will see. Drac now he knows that Rusted Bolt is not too far behind. 3-second penalty for Stephanie Luke. He knows that Rusted Bolt is not too far behind, almost into that DRS of Massey. That's definitely going to be a problem for Drac. But Merck is also pushing now on these fresh medium tires. Does he have the pace though to catch up to them? Probably will, but we will see. As Salty Stevens in P9 getting caught up now by Blakey Gamey, so maybe that one-stop strategy wasn't the best for Salty. With the pace wasn't just there, but if he didn't have that 10-second penalty, he probably could have pulled it off at this point of this race. But he has that 10-second penalty, so no matter what, Blakey will finish ahead of him. As Rusted Bolt now has cleared Bogmassen, and his next target is going to be Destroyer Drac. Merck is still in that 3-second buffer away from them. As Ivy now with a 1:10.1 the fastest lap, who will take that. Definitely be happy with that. But still not in a good place yet. He is right behind Warrior now, who's trying to make the move on Silky Stevens. Moves up to P5 as one Red Bull makes an overtake. The other one makes on Bakey Gaming go into turn 1. Ivy now will be thinking of making a move on Silky Stevens, who did the one stop. He and his teammates Mongmasi did the one stop, but because Mongmasi came into the pit just one lap earlier than Silky, see how much time he's gained on him. Alright, Destroyer Drac now. and Bolt will be fighting for this race win. Merck is slightly catching up to them, but he's still 3 seconds away from them. He's just catching up to Mog Massey, but he definitely will be using the DRS on Mog to get even closer to Bolt and Destroyer Drac in front. Bolt will take the lead of this race as the head is on 1 and the fastest lap. He's absolutely flying. He's definitely a predicted race winner here. The Merc behind Mog Massey. Gonna push now and it's gonna use that DRS behind the Aston Martin of Mogwasi. He's low on the ERS. Can he complete the move before they get it on 4? Yes, he can. And that's P3 for the Kickstarter. But a good place to finish for the race. But he definitely is not gonna give this one up. He's now gonna try to catch up to the 2 in front at 2.6 seconds behind Destroyer Drac. Which I Destroyer Drac strategy or Merc strategy? Which one is going to be the strategy that works here? Merc now has a little bit of clean air while Destroyer Drac is in that dirty air of rusted bolts in front. But Destroyer Drac will have the DRS as he heads to turn 1. So there are advantages and disadvantages of being behind someone. Merc definitely does know that. He does not run away from Mog, so Mog will not have that DRS to keep up with him. Or Massey though, in P4, if he didn't have that penalty, 3-second penalty, he's also on that driver cutting a P4 here, but Warner is definitely reeling him in as Ivy has that DRS on Warner and he's going to be gaining on the Red Bull, picking the inside for sure. Will he go for the dive on Warner here? Yes, he will. They both lock up as Ivy going to take P5. They are definitely fighting for the top, for 4th place here and 5th place. They're going to be reeling in Mog Massey. Merck still doesn't have enough yet to reel in Destroyer Drac, still 2.3 seconds behind them. Destroyer Drac's hard tires will be better at like 2 laps to go at the drivers around him. So that P strategy just might work to perfection for Destroyer Drac. There has been on the hard tires at the end. It's actually very good if you can do so. So we will see as Destroyer Drac 8/10 behind rusted bolt. If he does fall out of that DRS, that will now give Merck the opportunity to start reeling him in more. But it doesn't look like he's going to do so. Merck losing even more time now to the drivers in front. So Drac has a chance for a race win here, but fucking hell. Bolt just made me swear. He's so quick today. Absolutely rapid today, Bolt. He'll be keep trying to pull away from Drac, which will be quite difficult. But we will see. 7/10 away, 2.3 seconds away as Merck is from there. Merck doesn't look like he's going to catch them going to the end of this one. But we'll keep watching. Ivy slowly starting to reel in Mog Massey. 5 laps to go. Salty Steven and Bakey giving a fighting here. Salty has been overtaken by Bakey. Up to P10 he goes. Kickstarter not doing too bad against our competitors Aston Martin, the constructors today. As long as Salty finishes and gets the points, that's all we need. Whoa! Oh, it looks like Merck lost it a little bit there, and it makes him even lose more time. The drivers in front. 5 laps to go in this one. Drac in a perfect position to win this race. Just hold on to rusted bolt. He's trying his best here, using a lot of his DRS. This is a difficult task, but he's doing a good job so far. And if he can continue to do this in the last 2 laps of this one, he definitely will have the advantage to grab the race win. Bolt saving that ERS, about 50% on the ERS. He knows he needs it to defend in the final parts of this race. 3 seconds now, Merck is behind them, and he definitely will not be catching up to Ben, but he doesn't need to. Doesn't need to at all. He just needs to cruise as his championship contenders are not in this one. How many points is Merck away from Destroyer Drac? Let's see. Yeah, Merck is 25 points away from Drac. So if Drac wins this one and Merck ends up in P3, that's going to be what? An 8 points cut. So that's just going to be, yeah. So Merck just has to hope that Drac doesn't win. But Drac is in a perfect position to fight for championship on the final race. All he has to do is get the race win here. He needs the race win here, and he needs this again on the final race. Definitely will be going for it, as he's now 6/10 behind Rusted Bolt He definitely does not have enough now to run away from Drac on those hard tires. 3 laps to go in this one as Merck is out of the reckoning for the race win. Drac on those hard tires, pushing hard here. Ivy has gotten past Mogmasi. Warner will definitely follow suit. Ivy now doing a good job to recover up to P4. And this one, a good job from him. He will get the P4 at the end of the race, unless Warner has a say about that, as Warner gets past Mogmasi. And it looks like the one stop didn't really work to perfection for the Aston boys or for Salty Stevens. So Warner now gets a 3-second penalty. And that means Mogmasi can actually try to fight him for position. But Ivy's P4 is set in stone for now, as long as he doesn't get a 3-second penalty. But who is going to be your race winner? A few laps to go in this one. Can Drac finally get the race win in Tier 1? Does he have a race win yet? Let's look at the standings. No, he does not. I'm not surprised he's still in the championship fight without a race win. But Tier 1 has been so difficult. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different race winners in this tier. How many race winners have we had in Tier 2? Drac will make it 6 if he does end up winning today. How many race winners have we had in Tier 2? In Tier 2 we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we've also had 5 race winners, but Knockout won the first race, but he was kicked out. So I'll just say 4 race winners in Tier 2, which is Luke, Fletch, myself, and Tesco. And it's going to be 6 race winners if Drac ends up winning this one in Tier 1. How many race winners in Tier 3? That's the question. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 race winners in Tier 3. So it's basically balanced for most of the tiers. 4 in Tier 3, Tier 2, 5 in Tier 3, and 6 if Drac wins this one in Tier 1, but 5 if he doesn't. So yeah, just goes to show you the driver moves at the after the first round of the season has worked to perfection. All the tiers are basically equal. All the tiers are basically equal. Bevan has been the one who has been a little bit more dominant in his own championship fight against compared to everybody else. But yeah, the tiers have been very interesting to watch. 9/10 away, Rusted Bolt done a good job to keep Drac far away, not being able to make that move. Now it's going to be 2 laps to go in this one. Let's stick with the race leader. Let's stick with Destroyer Drac. He's going to get all our TV time now, right behind Rusted Bolt in the house. So he's going to use this ERS to make sure that Drac can't make the move on him. But it's time to save. Definitely, Bolt knows that. Save as much ERS as you can going into the final stages of this race, going into the final lap of this race. On the penultimate lap, Bolt showed that he's had the most pace when it comes to this sector, so he can use that while saving his ERS to pull away from Destroyer Drac. Bolt wants that race win. He doesn't want to give up the championship so easily, as he in the Tier 1 championship is just 37 points behind Merck. He wants double race wins today and next week for sure if he wants the championship. If he wants a chance for the championship. 100% champion from last season, Rusted Bolt now 9/10 away from Destroyer Drac. Doesn't look like Drac will have enough to get past Bolt. Bolt will definitely be your race winner here. Drac will have one more opportunity as they head down to turn 4, and he's going to set it up, but he's so low on that ERS and not even close enough to Rusted Bolt in front. So Drac definitely is going to have to settle for P2 in this one. Rusted Bolt, a drive and a half from him, starting from the back. A few corners to go in this one, just 2 sectors to go. Drac 6/10 behind. He's going to have to start saving that ERS if he wants to try and get Bolt to the line. I don't think he does have the pace to do so. Bolt has more ERS than him at this point, and that definitely is going to give the win to Rusted Bolt. It's just been a brilliant drive. He's put no foot wrong, the Haas driver. After the incident between him and Mr. P last week, he's come back for redemption. He did drive lights out last week, and he's done it again this week. And it's gonna be the final corner for Rusted Bolt, and he's gonna grab another win here this season. No, actually, he hasn't won yet, so that's gonna be the 6th race winner as we head down the straight. Rusted Bolt in the Haas is gonna complete the last of us and win at Brazil. Destroyer Drac will take P2, and your championship leader will take the final spot on the podium. Ivy with a good recovery to take P4 Wariner will take P5 ahead of the two Astons, who have done a good job for their team here with 6 and 7. Luke will not take P8 because he does have that penalty. Jaja will get ahead of him in this one, as Bakey is behind Jaja, and Salty will round up the grid for sure. But Rusted Bolt is your winner. He's going to cross the line as your winner. Luke does get Silky in the end. Jaja gets Silky. Oh my god, Silky brothers. Stevie's brothers are going to finish right beside each other. Look at them, Silky and Salty, legends, finishing right beside each other. And that's it. Rusted Boat is your winner. Last to first complete, and definitely my driver of the day. And it's going to be one more round to crown your champion. Yep, up Rusted Boat. Great job from him. He celebrates. Oh, my same podium celebration I have. I actually love the celebration. Top step of the podium for him. The McLaren applauds. As his team know, and are going to be very happy because we all know. Wait for it. The champagne is going to taste the best in the Haas camp as Bolt wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Round 11 is done, and it's going to be the finale next week for Tier 1. Bolt is your 6th race winner of the season. And it's been a very, very interesting one. That will be that. Ho 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 ho! Absolute domination. Race winner, fastest lap, driver of the day, most overtakes, cleanest driver. Unbelievable. If he doesn't get driver of the day, who will? Who will? Domination. I mean, that's probably the drive of the season from anyone this season. What a race from him. Honestly, round of applause for both. Let's give him a round of applause again. What the hell? And that is your race director. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. I have been Willie Fernandez. We have been UFRL, and we see you tomorrow as Loeb and Tier 2. We'll be doing the finale at Netherlands. Good luck to everybody involved, and good night.